Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm hitting you with a later video this evening because Ncuti Gatwa has dropped an article in The Mirror talking about the removal of Gatwa's confirmation of Season 3 and basically collating a bunch of sources that she has to do with Doctor Who and its future. Now the reason I'm treating this with the time of day is that Ncuti Gatwa is something of a legend for having the inside scoop when it comes to Doctor Who production over at The Mirror. She correctly predicted things like Jodie Whittaker's departure, Rhiannon Graham's departure in Series 12 alongside Mary Shelley facing off against the Cybermen in Series 12. More recently, there was a lot of stuff, I believe, to do with the 60th anniversary. So she's pretty well known for being bang on the money when it comes to all this stuff. And she has made her first official comment on the rumours surrounding the third series and what the future of Doctor Who might be. So I just wanted to read this article and give you my thoughts on it, because I think it is important, and I want to keep covering this story, not because it's particularly the most joyful, but I do want to keep an eye on this because I do think it's important. But let's just get right into it. Subscribe if you're new, let's just get right into this. Exclusive, BBC Doctor Who's future up in the air amid doubt over Ncuti Gatwa's return after strange edit. In a recent interview with TV host Graham Norton, Ncuti Gatwa was asked about the sci-fi show only for a certain part of his response to be left out the final cut. The future of Doctor Who is visually up in the air, with a gap of 2 years expected after Ncuti Gatwa's second outing as the Doctor hits the screen next year. Interesting. So this is the first mention of, well, I say official, it's not official, but the first mention of an industry person saying that we could actually be seeing a gap next year in terms of Doctor Who content. If you guys remember, one of the appeals, the early appeals that Russell stated about the Disney deal was we would be having Doctor Who every single year as a sort of, regular thing. But it's looking like that could be disrupted because of all this uncertainty surrounding Season 3, presumably because, obviously, by the time they actually get the go-ahead after Series 2, there might not be enough time to film and edit a series in time for, an early 2026 release date. The wait means there is now a big question over whether the Scottish actor returns at all, according to insiders. Interesting. So insiders are saying that Gatwa might not return at all. And at the weekend, he added to the intrigue surrounding the BBC One drama's future when he told Graham Norton he was filming a third series next year, only for the remark to be mysteriously edited out of the show that was aired. So what on earth is going on with the BBC's huge global sci-fi brand? Well, the prospect of a lengthy delay for any third series featuring Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor is real. Writing in the new issue of Doctor Who magazine, Russell T Davies officially confirmed that Disney will not decide to renew its funding deal with BBC Studios until after the second series starring Ncuti airs, probably from May. And then, it goes over the quote that we've read before. If you want to see my thoughts on all of that, go check out my previous videos. It's a big deal because the US streamer's cash injection for the first two series is thought to be a total of 100 million. So, again, we're hearing this 100 million figure, and from what I can tell, this has been widely kind of debunked, but I guess that might have just been to do with one series. Maybe 100 million in totality is more reasonable, which doubled or even trebled the budgets for each episode. Pulling out could mean a return to the old-style budgets, which would surely feel like a huge step backwards. Controversial take. I wouldn't even be that mad if the budget went down a bit. I actually think that it would force, some more kind of creative solutions in terms of the storytelling when it comes to, ideas and stuff, because some of Russell's best work was done in stories like Midnight, with absolutely no budget and literally just a set and actors to work with, while Beyonder is another one that I've sung the praises of constantly, which fundamentally is one of the simplest stories he's written since his return. And I just think money isn't everything. So I'm not even that mad about that, but I would be more concerned about there being a gap, personally. Whatever happens, any future series is unlikely to film until the start of 2026, as time needs to be allowed for scripts to be pulled together and guest stars book. And that means no new Doctor Who on screen until 2027, with or without Disney cash. But couldn't Russell just get the whole series ready to go either way? Absolutely not. Sources say, arguing that it would be impossible to fully plan 8 episodes of action without knowing the scale of the budget. It massively affects the stories and scripts, and one insider said, it'd be much harder to film a battle scene with 800 aliens, for instance, if there isn't a budget for CGI for some spectacular staging. And where does this leave the leading man, Ncuti? Doctors from the reboot era typically stay for 3 series before leaving, with Jodie Whittaker, Stephen Capaldi, I think they mean Peter Capaldi there, and Matt Smith, each loosely following this model, excluding the specials. The 15th Doctor put the cat among the pigeons last week when Graham Norton asked about Doctor Who and he replied, "It's all going well. We did the second series this year, the Christmas special is coming up at Christmas, and we are filming a third series next year." The final remark was edited out of the broadcast version, leaving some fans wondering what it all meant. Everything is up in the air, and they need to brace themselves for a 2-year wait for a new series once this one airs, one insider reports. We have been told that nothing will be filmed for Doctor Who in 2025. The ongoing doubt about Ncuti's involvement in any third series also stems rumours he is also keen to capitalise on his higher profile since becoming the Doctor and also landing a cameo in Barbie, his first taste of Hollywood. Now the 31-year-old currently rehearsing for his London West End play, Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, is expected to receive movie and TV role offers to fill the Doctor Who hiatus. If he did go off and do other things, I wouldn't blame him, one source says. He's hardly likely to sit on his hands for the next couple of years while everyone finds out what's going to happen with Doctor Who. The truth is, there's a chance he simply won't be available for filming again in 2026. And then there's the ratings. The Doommongers always point out that in the heyday of the Matt Smith and David Tennant eras, the show was getting an audience of 8 million, compared with less than 4 million now. But a lot of that is down to TV being consumed differently thanks to streaming and catch-up services. Overall, there is a deep love for Doctor Who shared by fans who range from die-hard, lifelong Whovians to kids who have recently discovered the Time Traveller. So it feels as though Doctor Who's hanging in the balance, with US reports claiming Disney executives were left underwhelmed by Ncuti's debut season. No viewing figures have been made public, so it's hard to tell how it did in terms of audience size. However, there is still hope that it will all be fine. Speaking at Edinburgh TV Festival a few weeks ago, Disney Original Productions boss Tim Keelan described Doctor Who as a really good fit. Calling the show a fabulous series, he said, really happy to have it. I just think the quirkiness of it, the fact that it's in the sci-fi world, and when you think about what Disney offers in other regards, I feel like it's a really good fit to me. I mean, it's great to have it. Also speaking in Edinburgh, BBC content boss Charlotte Moore insisted the new big budget version of Doctor Who has done so well for younger audiences. A BBC spokesperson declined to comment on speculation on the show's future, but Charlotte hinted she remained hopeful for a new deal, adding, "It's been a great collaboration, we've really enjoyed it. It's a great ride to be on. For now, fans will have to make do with a spin-off series, The War Between the Land and the Sea, featuring the ominous Sea Devils to plug the gap in 2026. Make the most of it." Okay, interesting. So this article doesn't tell us too much that we didn't already know, with the exception of the fact that Nicola Metvin at the Mirror seems relatively confident that a year-long hiatus could be on the cards, so we wouldn't get any Doctor Who in 2026, and rather it would be in 2027. Now, whether that means that The War Between the Land and the Sea would be postponed into 2026, because I believe it was previously slated for late 2025. That remains to be seen. That would at least plug the gap in a not too dissimilar way to how Class plugged the gap, if you will, between Series 9 and 10. I think the concern is two things. One is I was really hopeful for yearly Doctor Who again. That's one of the things that Russell said initially that I was super hopeful for, because quite frankly, not only as a fan, but as a content creator, these year-long breaks suck on both levels, because obviously as a fan, I love Doctor Who and I want it to come out regularly, but also as a content creator, it means that it's a lot more difficult to, keep buzz going around the show. But also even beyond that, there's the aspect of kids get bored with something if it's gone for too long, and I do think that that's been a huge issue with Doctor Who retaining an audience, especially a younger audience, because quite frankly, it's on so sporadically that kids forget, they move on, they find other things. The other aspect that's difficult about this is the Ncuti Gatwa question, particularly with regards to what he's going to do after Season 2, because obviously these 2 seasons are locked in and filmed. He's filmed them, we know that they're coming out with him. Season 3, whilst he seems to think he's doing a third series, that could change if the BBC/Disney don't arrange a new deal and it stalls and he's like, I might just leave it here, because honestly, I do understand why he would be like, you know what guys, I've had my fun, but I've got other job offers and I can't just sit here and wait until Doctor Who comes back, which I would understand. It would suck, because I do like Gatwa's Doctor, but I do understand that perspective. I really hope there isn't a year gap, and I really hope Gatwa does stick around. Obviously, this is all, rumour to a certain extent, so I wouldn't take this as hard-boiled fact, but it is coming from Nicola Metvin, who is pretty reliable, So I would say that a year-long gap in 2026 is looking a bit more likely than it had, in my opinion, after reading that because of who's saying it, which is a little bit concerning, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.